This video is an invitation to lead with steadfast tranquility, to shape the atmosphere of our homes with the steady strength of gentle words. Sometimes peace doesn't leave a room because of yelling. Sometimes it slips away quietly, through hurried words, sharp tones, and the way our voices carry weight. A sigh, a clipped phrase, or a sentence we wish we could take back. In our homes, words can build bridges, or they can build walls. Gentleness isn't weakness, it's the quiet strength of love under control. In this week's Little Light Storybook Tale, we encounter little Willow. We learn something important about the power of feather-soft words. Willow didn't wait for someone else to bring peace. She stood steady in the storm and let gentleness lead. That's the kind of strength our families need from us. In Willow's story, the forest hummed with tension. Aspen and maple stood in the middle of market day, their voices tangled in hurt. Words flew fast, like leaves in a storm, but Willow didn't raise her voice. She didn't hurry to fix anything. She let the wind settle first, and when she finally spoke, her voice was soft, like a feather touching water. The whole clearing seemed to exhale. Even the forest itself seemed to remember how to breathe. It reminds me of another story, one that happened on the water. A night when Jesus stood in a small boat as waves crashed all around. The storm roared, the wind howled, and the disciples shouted in fear. But Jesus simply lifted his hand and said 3 quiet words, "Peace, be still," and the storm obeyed. Our words paint the air around us. Tone is their color, sometimes bright and healing, sometimes sharp enough to leave a mark. Even truth can wound when it's spoken without grace. Choosing to speak gently doesn't minimize the power of truth. Instead, it wraps it in mercy and offers it like a gift that the heart can receive. I know what it's like to speak too soon, to use truth like a device instead of like a healing ointment. But the Spirit of God never asked me to make things right. He invited me to make them whole. When Jesus met Peter after the cross, he didn't lecture or explain. He simply asked, "Peter, do you love me?" 3 times he asked that question. Once for each denial, once for each wound, once for each betrayal, and through those soft words, peace returned. Tenderness filled the air, even reaching into Peter's heart, enabling him to forgive himself and to plant his feet on solid ground, equipping him for God's calling on his life. Feather-soft words, mighty in power. The calm we practice in disciplining our children is the same calm that brings this kind of peace. Before words come, there is breath, and in that breath we slow the rush that wants to speak too soon. We let the body soften, we let the spirit lead, because the way we breathe shapes the way we speak, and the way we speak shapes the atmosphere our children live in. Each breath is like a lantern, glowing softly as we breathe in and fading gently as we breathe out. It's a quiet way of remembering that peace has to begin inside of us before it can reach someone else. Lantern breathing isn't only for hard moments, it's how we carry light into every conversation. It's a steady rhythm that says, "You are safe, you are loved." Before you speak, pause for a breath and imagine your words as a feather resting in your hand. Think about how easily that feather can either drift gently through the air or be blown away in a rush. The way we speak changes the way words land. Keep a small feather, or even a picture of one. Somewhere you'll see it often. Maybe on your nightstand, your kitchen counter, or by your child's bed. Let it remind you that tone carries weight. A soft word can build trust. A sharp tone can leave a bruise no one else can see. At the end of each day, take a quiet moment. Ask your child, or someone you love, what words made you feel safe today? It's a small question, but it opens a gentle door. It helps us notice the difference between words that heal and words that wound, between tones that invite someone closer and tones that push them away. In Brightwood, Willow learned that peace doesn't rush to be heard. It listens long enough to understand. And when we practice that same kind of gentleness, peace begins to grow in our homes, not in grand sweeping ways, but little by little, word by word, like soft feathers gathering into a nest where love can rest. Sometimes, without ever being asked, a child steps into the middle of the storm, trying to be Willow, softening what was never theirs to hold. But that isn't their burden, it's ours. As parents, we lead by bringing calm, so they can rest in safety instead of standing in the wind. This is the gift of gentleness. It doesn't just change the temperature of our conversations, it changes the weight our children carry. When we speak softly, we make it clear they don't have to hold the storm. When safety is present, the fruit of the Spirit isn't forced, it flourishes. It grows in the quiet spaces our gentleness creates. May our words be wings of healing, carrying light into the places our children call home. May our tones teach them peace, not pressure. And may the calm we carry become the shelter they grow beneath. If you'd like a simple way to practice this, the Feather Test printable is linked below. It's a gentle little tool to help you notice how softness and steady love shape your home. And if your kids haven't seen the companion story yet, I'd love for you to join me there next. It's a quiet tale about gentle words and how kindness can change everything. Thank you for being here and for the tenderness you're choosing in the moments that matter most.